Second and the last day of the US-Azerbaijan Convention was more busy. In different sessions, because we're deliberating on developing economy of Azerbaijan, increase of the human factor in this country, as well as how trustful and reliable country Azerbaijan has been with a high level of tolerance. Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, as it is the biggest problem standing in front of the country, was on the agenda of all sessions. As panelists were making their introductions, it seemed that the American political establishment started to clearly understand that Nagorno-Karabakh conflict was not of the regions only. Being one of the world's leading countries, Washington keeps its moral duty to assist to the resolution of the conflict.
I believe that the incursion by the Armenians into the Nagorno-Karabakh area was a violation of the law, and it should be resolved. The only problem that we have is we have two governments next to each other. We have one that's supported by Russia, and the other one doesn't have support from the United States so far in this area. And so the big concern I have is how do we resolve this without another military conflict? The United States and Azerbaijan has a great relationship. I believe that it should continue to be very, very strong. President Aliyev is a very fine fellow. The country is growing in a rapid way. The only thing that concerns me right now is the security of Azerbaijan, which I talked about just a few minutes ago.
Azerbaijan has been a very, very good friend, and we have to make sure that we support Azerbaijan with their difficulties against Armenia, which is obviously being supported by Russia. But more important than that is the fact that the United States has got to stick with its friends. And if we forget that, and we forget Azerbaijan, then I think we're sending a message.
It is not surprisingly that American politicians have started to openly state the necessity of US to put an influence on Armenia. Indeed, the importance of strategic relations with Azerbaijan is much more important than relations with pro-Russian Armenia.
I think we're both a strategic ally and a strategic partner. I think both from a national security perspective and from an economic perspective, the relationship with Azerbaijan becomes more and more important every year.
Well, I think in many ways Azerbaijan is very incredibly important. We need all the friends that we can get in that region of the world, for one thing, but also with the vast oil reserves that Azerbaijan has, I think that it could be incredibly helpful in stabilizing some of the other concerns that we have with the region.
In our global war on terror, Azerbaijani military personnel served alongside American forces in Iraq and in Afghanistan, and on behalf of all of us in the United States Congress, we want to say thank you to the people of Azerbaijan for that sacrifice. As all of
Certainly, in the relations between the two countries where important attention is allocated to the energy sector cooperation, the United States does not forget that Azerbaijan plays an important role in ensuring the energy security of the main partner of the United States, such as Europe. This proves that late 2013 signed a contract to develop the Southern Gas Corridor, passing Georgia, Turkey, reaching to Greece and Albania, and go further.
We talked about the Southern Corridor pipeline. We talked about how private capital and Western companies can come together and generate energy in the Caspian, and that other companies can come together and build pipelines and take it across the Southern Corridor through Turkey and, of course, through Greece and Albania and into Italy, and provide a piece of the puzzle to achieve energy security for Eastern and Central Europe.
I was just meeting with the Hungarian Ambassador at Large for Energy, Anita Orban, and we were talking about the importance of this, and she understands that just like we understand the importance of what the Southern Gas Corridor means, what it means to provide this alternative route, and we certainly want to be supportive of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan plays a very important role. We understand that. We want to be supportive of what you all do in Azerbaijan.
And of course, the theme of tolerance could not remain without attention. Azerbaijan has turned into a center of culture and dialogue of civilizations, once again proving that its tolerant, reverent attitude to its roots make possible the coexistence of the different cultures and religions. Azerbaijan is a country where all people, indifferent of their religious belief, live in peace and understanding. Friendly, brethren, sincere relations among religious confessions in my country have spread among whole people of Azerbaijan. This is a big achievement of our society, and we are really proud of this. Azerbaijan is not a big country but rich with its history. Many nations live in Azerbaijan, and this multinationalism is the national achievement of Azerbaijan. You cannot observe in Azerbaijan any interreligious confessional disputes. Be it Muslim, Christian or Jewish, we celebrate our holidays together. The third US-Azerbaijan Convention came to an end with a gala dinner. Again with participation of the high-ranking guests. Speakers at the night praised the importance of development of US-Azerbaijani relations, and such events gave impetus to this cooperation and expressed their wish to keep this tradition.
We in Congress and in Parliament, we think we play a very important role in communicating between the people of our country. So I'm very, very delighted to get a chance to know some of the members of Parliament better.
Participants bid farewell to each other to get together 1 year later in Baku. Babaday Süleymanlı, Bəxtiyar Həsənov, Fuad Nəzərov, Ruslan Cəfərov, CBC, Washington. Special for AzerTaj.